So, to elaborate and tell us more a little bit about Handep and its mission as a social enterprise startup that works to empower Indigenous women and smallholder farmers through eco-fashion, we're now connected with Randi Julian Miranda himself. Good morning, Randi.
Morning, Randi.
Hi.
How
Hello,
lovely.
hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Hi,
Good
Randi.
morning. Good morning from Bali.
Yes,
beautiful.
good morning from Jakarta. I'm so jealous. We're so jealous of you at the moment. Anyway, we know that you graduated from Melbourne University, and you are actually a Master of Environment from Melbourne University in 2018,
Yes.
right? So when you came
Yes.
back to Indonesia, it is also the same time when you established Handep. So what inspired you to create this ethical fashion label?
Well, actually, the journey is really personal to me as somebody who was born and grew up in a remote village in Kalimantan, where my daily life was very much connected to the nature, especially to the forest and land. But things have been changing over the last 2 decades, 20 years. And the changes are not for the better, but the changes are for the worse. A lot of destructions happening to the forest and also to the lives of the local people who are my people who are really dependent on the forest resources for their basic livelihoods and survival. So yeah, I was very concerned with the issue that our community is facing on day-to-day basis, and then have always been thinking, how can I do something that is local and also can be a solution to the problems that we are dealing with in Kalimantan. I've spent around 6 years working with international organizations on community development and also forest conservation, but I didn't find the right formula as yet on how to work with our people in the long run. And I was trying my best to actually formulate one which is feasible and locally applicable for the Dayak community, my people. And then once I returned to Indonesia, actually I went to Australia on a scholarship, and my mission on the scholarship was that I wanted to establish a local business or a local initiative that can have a positive impact for my people who lives in and in the vicinity of the forest areas.
And look at you now. You have actually begun to do that, which is a great thing. So how transformed the lives of these women who are working side by side with Handep at the moment in creating the beautiful weave products right from Kalimantan? How has their lives changed?
Well, I would say they have changed in some different ways, especially if we look at the economic improvement. We, based on our survey and evaluation, we have managed to provided them with an improvement in their income by almost 80%.
Wow.
Which is, I would say, is a significant number. One of the reasons behind that was that because before my team and I got into those remote villages, they actually been producing those beautiful weaves and organic produce from their forests and also farms, but it has always been undervalued by the businessman, like the middleman. And our company is trying to change the narrative in the community so that they can have a better income, because they produce such a high quality products. Why should they deserve a low price? I think that's first and foremost. And second of all, they have also improved in a lot of their capacities, especially around design and also financial literacy, as well as working as a group or in terms of group management. And last but not least, we also been supporting them to preserve their existing forests, the remaining forests. We have our tree planting program through one purchase, one tree. So for every product that you purchase from Handep, you actually are planting one tree in the
Wow.
degraded forest of Kalimantan.
Amazing. That's something that's definitely going to make a difference, especially down the road. We're looking at videos of the women that are obviously weaving, and everything looks very traditional. Is that still ongoing now, or have they, because of your involvement and working together with Handep, have they adopted more modern production?
Methods, you mean?
Yeah, production techniques as well.
I think, excuse me, I would say yes and no. Basically, in terms of the weaving techniques, the way they produce the products, the way they put things together into this beautiful weaving crafts is still very traditional. All the weaving patterns that you see on the video and on also our website or social media platforms, they are all very traditional. Those are intergenerational knowledge that have been passed down from generation to generation. But through our site, we do a bit of design intervention where we play a little bit with the design in order to make it more functional and also meet today's lifestyle. Because the idea behind us focusing more on sustainable fashion accessories with this community instead of home decorations or other type of products is that because we believe fashion accessories have more economic value, and this can actually support a better economy of the people in the village, especially the women who are very engaged in the production process of our products.
Yes.
They look very attractive too. We're looking at them right now, and yeah, very appealing to, especially for women who are looking for these sorts of things.
Exactly. It has actually endorsed by one of Indonesian models or celebrity, Nadine Chandrawinata, actually uses products from Handep as well.
Cool.
Exactly. So I also noticed Handep is basically trying to create economic development that respects local wisdom and creates positive impacts on the people and the planet, right? So I was born in Surabaya, so in East Java. I'm a mixed blood between Javanese and also West Sumatran. But Indonesia is so big, including like one of the biggest islands that is Borneo or Kalimantan. I would love to know what is exactly the local wisdom of the Dayaks that we should know. I would love to know.
I think first and the most important is the human connection. We have a very strong connection with the nature, especially with the forest. So forest is basically your supermarket. Forest is basically where you go to get your fruits, to get your vegetables, and to get your meat of the day. That's how we live in the past, and there are still thousands and thousands of people, the Dayak people in those remote villages are still maintaining those traditional practices. Second of all, we also are very self-sufficient, where we grow our own food, grow our own rice, grow our own vegetables in our garden, usually just next to our house. And last but not least, I think the Dayak community has a quite unique traditional belief system that other regions in Indonesia do not. We have that Kaharingan belief system, which there is still a small number of our community maintaining those belief practices. I think our life is pretty much connected to nature, and we believe that nature is playing such a huge role in our day-to-day lives, and we can't just live without nature.
Right.
So it's completely different when I was working in Jakarta for 3 years, and then back in my hometown, there were things that were missing in my life, and I thought I would like Jakarta because when I was a kid, I used to watch television in my neighbor's home, and I aspired to be working in this big office, in the high-rise building, with this suit, which I actually did, but then there was just something missing.
There's not as many trees out here, definitely, that's for sure.
I know, but a lot of pollution.
Exactly, and I'm sure you and the rest of the Dayak people are very happy people, because actually we humans, we're happiest we're happiest when we're actually close to nature. So you're very
I know
lucky,
that.
Randy.
Truly
Very
believe
lucky.
that as well. Now, speaking about back to Handep, how many artisans do you have working with you currently? Actually, I guess it's a two-part question then, because currently we are in the middle of a pandemic. Has this changed because of the pandemic? But under normal conditions, how many artisans would you normally have working under you?
Yeah. To begin with, we actually work with around 60 artisans in 3 different villages. But in late 2019, we started to work with more artisans, 150. And then during the pandemic, surprisingly, we engaged more artisans, not because we are generating more profit or incomes, but because there were some groups of the people in the community that lost their job because of the pandemic, and they can also do weaving. So it was one of the solutions that we can offer to the community in order to provide them with sources of income during pandemic. And another good news is that we also started working with other communities outside Kalimantan. Well, you probably read on our website that we are based in Central Kalimantan, and things started in Kalimantan because of my love and passion for the Borneo, for the Dayak culture, for the rainforest. But then moving forward, we realized that there are also other communities that share similar struggles outside Kalimantan that need our support. So this year we started working with the Balinese, the Indigenous Balinese, the Bali Agro community actually, and also with weaving community in Banten, in Pandeglang district. Thanks to the support of Canadian government who engaged us in this collaboration as well.
That's so great. And you also mentioned something about profit. So what is the working arrangement or the profit sharing arrangement between Handep as an ethical fashion company and also the Dayak women who are actually the artisans helping to create these beautiful products for Handep?
Yeah. We are embracing fair trade principles and equal partnership, where we believe that artisans are working partners, not our employees. So we should have that same level of bargaining position in order to have a more balanced power relations in doing our work. Because we believe we started Handep not because of somebody's dream, but because of the collective dream of the community. So things have to be discussed and agreed in a mutual ways, or 2 ways. So at Handep, although we are not yet certified as a fair trade organization or business, but we do self-regulate ourselves in order to meet those standards. One of which is we make sure that our artisans are receiving no less than 25% of every product that we purchase from them. Speaking of fair trade standard, it's 15%. But we are moving beyond what the certification framework can offer. Second of all, we have written agreement with them, so we know our responsibilities and our rights, so that both parties can work, in a good way and understand if there are problems, then there are conflict resolutions are ready to settle those disputes in the future. And last but not least, we are also giving back to the community. So a quite significant proportion of the profit that we are making is given back to the community through capacity buildings and also village infrastructure development. The reason behind that is that because we want to be impactful through our own money, through our own capital, not relying on donor organizations. That's why, to begin with, we didn't start Handep as a non-government organization or NGO, but we started it as a business because we believe that it's the future of the business, the future business should look like this, should do more ethical practices, should consider more sustainability practices in their day-to-day operation.
This is a wonderful social enterprise. Thank you so much for creating this, because not only that you're running a business, but you're also making a social impact for the community as well. And that's actually a sustainable way to run a business.
The business itself is sustainable as well, not just the products. Now, one last question from me. What are the strategies for you to penetrate the international market in regards to exporting? Have you already done so? Are you planning to do so? Or any other collaborations perhaps that are upcoming in the future?
I think a very important highlight of our business is the sustainability and ethical aspect, because a lot of people actually use this term as a form of greenwashing, and we try not to go that direction as well. So we're very careful with our ecological footprint, especially carbon emission. Handep is not focusing on export, although we have done some, but in a very small batch, because we're very concerned with our carbon emission, because every time we're shipping this product overseas, it means we are using a lot of fossil fuel, which is really bad. And we know in Indonesia, Kalimantan is the home to those huge extractive industry like oil, gas, mining, and also logging. And we do not want to support this narrative in our business.
Yeah.
Even if we are exporting small batch of our products, we have the one piece, one tree program to make sure that we offset our ecological footprints.
Yeah.
I think our business model sounds very complicated, but believe me, it's very holistic, and I think not a lot of small businesses are going that direction, but we are setting the bar high so that the other social enterprises or sustainable businesses in Indonesia can also follow suit in the future.
Yeah. It is not complicated, Randi.
No,
the
not
way
at
you
all.
run your business is not complicated.
It's very well thought out.
It's a sane way to actually run your business, considering that we have limited resources and the earth is our only home. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randi, for your time. We really appreciate this in-depth look into Handep, a truly eco-friendly company.
Yeah.
A lot of companies say that, but not a lot of them can actually. A lot of companies claim that but not a lot of are actually eco-friendly. Thanks again for your time, Randi. We hope you have a great morning. Much success to you and in the future with Handep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay healthy, Randi.